Well, hello everybody. I'm so glad you're here. Do you have your cup of cuppa? I just had my cup of cuppa, but I've got more that I can have in the NutriBullet thing. Whatever it is. The NutriBullet is the old one. Anyway, hi. So here we are, and it is actually I am recording this to air on Good Friday, the 19th, tomorrow. And I figured I better do a partial review of the conference that I attended while some of it is still in my head. And of course, part of the conference was the aging brain. So you'll understand why I need to get the info out now before it's long gone. That's how it goes when you have that aging brain. Keeping all the info, especially when it's all keto and carnivore information inside of my head. And then all the peripheral stuff from the conference yesterday, which is it's interesting. It's interesting. I didn't learn really too much that's new. So I went to the conference. Okay, there's like 200 or 300 people there. The temperature of the place was not sub-zero, which was good. I planned for sub-zero, but it was nice. And the lady was great, PhD, psychology background, and a lot of nutrition background as well. And now a scientist doing nutrition research, but she travels all over the country doing this. It's the Institute for Brain Potential. And she had a great personality to keep us all engaged. However, once it became 3:30 and the conference was over at 4, I was like here. I hadn't eaten for 25 hours, so for me that was I was hungry. And I did not need to get an eval because I'm not maintaining my counseling certificate anymore with CEUs, so I could just go. So it was great. And so I thoroughly enjoyed it. I did see some people I knew over the years. And so it was yeah, this is pretty packed. So, these are all the PowerPoint sort of things. And so she introduced herself and let us know right away that she's vegan and her daughter just turned vegan, so it makes it fun for the two of them to be able to talk about things so they can have their healthy oatmeal together, I guess. And so what was pushed was the MIND diet, and the MIND diet is a DASH diet, Mediterranean diet. And actually, if you weren't doing keto or carnivore, it almost looks like it's got a little sanity to it. Yes, whole grains were pushed as usual. Only one glass of red wine a day, and one lady raised her hand and said, can I have white wine instead of red wine? And everybody chuckled. No, you can't. And so, anyway, the lady, so for amusement, because of course it's never about the content of this, it's about the people around me. So there are a lot of what looked like people that have had a standard American diet most of their lives. And so that part was interesting. But the lady in front of me, it was just so funny. Those packages of crackers, those, they're like either peanut butter or cheese and Cheez-Its or Ritz or something like that. So she had 2 packs with her. Clearly not somebody doing the standard American, or clearly somebody doing the standard American diet. I had to kind of chuckle. And so we did have an hour off. I scooted home to feed the cats and get my dinner ready. And last night I had a 100% carnivore dinner. So I was so excited. I had a ribeye steak that I cooked in the cast iron pan, high-sided, so I didn't have to clean up after myself. And I didn't have to throw anything out either. That steak was so good. And I had one jumbo egg scrambled along with it. And I might do it again tonight. I have a USW, US Wellness meat order that's due today. And so, yeah, I might have something right out of that box. I'm excited, and I'm thinking the hickory smoked beef, baby beef ribs, with a couple of scrambled eggs. Yeah, I'm thinking of that. But I do have for my menu today, I have it in Chronometer if I have what is already in there just for illustrative purposes. So yeah, she's a vegan. And so when she said meat, it's funny because it's like a one syllable word, but she said it so softly, surrounding all the other stuff that you can tell that she has. So in the Mind diet, there are grains, whole grains, of course, and no red meat, the one glass of wine. It's just interesting. But it did have more healthy aspects than a lot of the other things, and definitely better than a Jenny Craig or a Weight Watchers. I mean, at least it worked with fresh foods, highlighting. And when it got to the oils, I thought this was kind of interesting. The good fats that she explained to us, which was olive oil. And a lot of people, olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, EVU to some of us, has fallen out of favor in the last couple of years because it's loaded with omega-6s and not as many omega-3s as we tend to think it has. And so, but sure enough, she was touting that. And also, the other ones that she recommends are for anti-inflammatory effects. So the olive oil, nut oils, which is my macadamia, fish oils, and then seed oils, for example, canola and rapeseed. And it's like, you're kidding, right? So I thought that was kind of interesting, recommending seed oils. So there are only, I could only punch holes in a few of the things that she said. She did talk about the blue zone, and she said, have any of you ever heard of the blue zone? This one's for Mike, OMAD. And, so people said, yeah, I have. Me, pick me, I have. So she said there's one community in the United States that's in the blue zone. Does anybody know where it is? And it's like, I do. I didn't do that, of course, but Loma Linda, there you go, Mike. And she said, it's a Seventh-day Adventist community. And I just laughed because Mike and I were just talking about that with the Belinda and Gary Fettke video that Ivor Cummins interviewed, where he interviewed them. So that was interesting. So then she talked, so that was fun. Hi, Mike. So then she talked about the Regards study. I'm going to have to look that up. It was in all caps, so it must stand for something. And so she never mentioned anything about fasting or intermittent fasting or one meal a day. This is assuming that we all have our 3 little meals. She did talk about not snacking, and that's one thing that she likes about her vegan food plan, is that she doesn't snack like she used to. They had an hour for the lunch, and a half hour of that she was present to answer questions. The other half, she must have had some sort of meal. I don't know. But she said once she went vegan, she found that she dropped 45 pounds, but she's put back 15, but she's comfortable with that, just so you know. She did bring up keto at one point, and she said the results are inconclusive and we don't know if it's sustainable, but a lot of people have success with it, although a lot of people remain hungry doing it. And I'm sitting there thinking, why do people, who are they interviewing? What studies are they looking at? That's why most of us are very happy here doing Keto and Carnivore, because we aren't hungry and we do feel it is sustainable. And if you live your life like mine, one day at a time, it's like tomorrow I'll decide if I'm going to do keto or not, or carnivore or not, right? And of course that's kind of silly because of course we plan it. If you've got a fridge and a freezer full of meat, I doubt you're going to be doing the Mind diet anytime soon. But we have the right, we have the the privilege, the right, and the choice of always changing what we're eating if it's not working. Um, I don't know many carnivores that have gone back to vegan, but I see tons of interviews where vegans have gone to carnivore, right? So it's interesting. So, oh, and she was talking about the keto diet and the misinformation, it's still out there. It's a high fat diet. And the problem is you might not get enough protein, she said. And I'm sitting there thinking, I've doubled, tripled my protein on my keto/carnivish food plan. And, my fats are not like overwhelming. So it's like, once again. And then she said, you have to be careful because if you have too much fat, it can lead to ketoacidosis. Huh? Well, I want to see the literature or the studies that she's reading to determine these things. Too much fat can lead to ketoacidosis. Not even close. You have to be type 1 diabetes anyway. And who knows? Who knows? Whatever. And then, of course, just for the shock value, she said, and then there's this thing called keto crotch, and it could make you have places that are smelly on your body. So everybody was like, oh, ooh. So anyway, I just enjoyed that part. And she was talking about our brain because, of course, part of it was the aging brain and the prefrontal cortex. And she said it is obsessed with food. It's always obsessed with food. It will never not be obsessed about food. And, I guess I'm obsessed about food. I mean, it's my passion. I do nothing but keto carnivore videos and talk about it and, shop it, eat it, live it. Except for when I'm shopping for fruit bars for people or grain bars for people, things like that. But they're organic. I love America where we have all this choice. And so, so she was talking about that and how our brain works. And of course, if you're going to work on your brain, you're going to work on it 20 years ago with some good habits. And she talked about the good habits that contribute to keeping your brain from aging faster than it needs to. And that is things like sleep and exercise and sunshine. So she talked about those sort of things, which is where I kind of checked out at 3:30. So, yeah, some of it was scientific, and the rest were, healthy lifestyle. And I would imagine that most of the audience was the choir that she was preaching to, and they have good habits. There were some very thin vegetarian ish people there. They just have that look in their style, their dress, their hair, their gait. Sitting in a huge room with people, I was like midsection, one seat from the aisle seat. And the gait of people is always telling. The gait of us as we age is very interesting. And so when you'd see somebody get up and go to the bathroom that was in front of me, everything looked kind of okay. And then from the rear, as they were coming back and getting to their seat, you could see that with the gait, the structural condition of somebody that's my age. So it was interesting. So I did enjoy it. And would I go to any other? I've been to many of their conferences. I think that they are well run and worth the money. But I chuckled because I felt like if I was YouTube binging with people, I could have like looked up the four sections of the four objectives of the of course I can't find it now, but it's conscientious eating and inflammation, and then the gut. A lot of stuff about the gut. TAMPs and DAMPs. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but things that just happen to our body with the oxidizing and oxidizing stress. Yeah. So there are a lot of those sort of things that I have to keep hearing them and then hear 4 or 5 different people talk about them to kind of have them permeate my brain barrier. But yes, I enjoyed it. It was worth it. Excuse me. And thank you for indulging me with my chat about that. So today I am having, if I have it, I am having leftovers. And so my calories today show at 1,026. My protein is at 93. My carbs are 1.3 and my fats are about 73. And today I might not have my lettuce salad today. It might be another carnivore OMAD. It seemed to work for me yesterday. I will see what comes with the U.S. wellness order, and but I'm thinking the beef hickory ribs. They come in 1 pound packages, and of course you've got the ribs. So I will have my scrambled eggs with scallions, and maybe you had me a Gouda cheese melted on it. But thank you so much for watching. Just wanted to get empty out my brain from the conference and the amusing parts, as well as the parts that do make sense. And sometimes, you know, when people come at you with healthy habits, sometimes we all come from the same place, you know, vegetarians, vegans, the Mind diet, and we all come from the same place. It's just that the results that we're seeking and that happen to us, our scale victories and our non-scale victories, are totally different from somebody doing a different food plan. But we seem to gather the same health benefits, as they say at first, and then it's the sustainability that matters to all of us. But going from a standard American diet and a standard American doctor to taking care of ourselves and being our own advocate and eating keto, carnivore, carnivish, healthy is what makes a difference. It's night and day with giving up those things. And you know, again, the sugar, the inflammation from the sugar was a high stress thing. And so we all benefit from giving up the sugar, no matter what food plan we're doing. But I will not be having my Green Goddess probiotic smoothie today. I will not be having it once I leave here talking to you. I won't. I will have 2 more of these before my OMAD. Thank you so much for watching. I can't do this without you, and I'm not going to, and you can't make me. I have another pet fruit fly. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye for now.